I'm completely heartbroken. So my husband just told me he booked a flight to go golfing in a few weeks by his best friends. He never once talked to me about the dates or his plans before he booked. We have been together almost 21 years, married for 15 next weekish. My husband just spent 5 days away over Labor Day while I stayed behind with our 13-yo. He has never done anything like this before. For context, he is incredibly cheap. We have not gone away for even a night in years, even with the kids. I wanted to get Disney tickets this summer, but he said no. No matter what I spend, he always has an issue with it. Every time I go grocery shopping, he almost always complains about how much I spend, even though it is well within the allowance. The last time we went out to eat was November 2023 with the 13-yo. I've asked so many times to go out to dinner or something, but we never do. Recently, in an argument, I brought it up again, and he said that he doesn't like going out to eat, so why would he do it? I should consider the time we spend on the weekends cleaning the house and doing yard work as spending time together. I don't work and have no friends or family. I feel this is the final straw. I feel neglected, and he says that's not it. He has an unhealthy relationship with money and is always stressing over it. We don't struggle and live comfortably, but he was laid off years ago and took him 9 months to find work, and since he has been overly crazy about money. Our oldest is 24, and she says he has caused her so much anxiety about money, she is always worried about running out of it. He stresses about spending $5 to rent a movie. He's bothered that I want to pay for a movie service that costs $8 a month. Money is such a huge issue in our marriage. He always says we are broke. The kids have been around this, and it's so unhealthy for them to worry about finances. When our oldest was in middle and high school, she suffered drug-resistant depression and had a failed suicide attempt. His counselor even then told him to stop talking about money, but he couldn't. We have not had a date night in years. He has attempted a few. My birthday was last month, and we were going to go out, but we ended up shopping and working on a Halloween project together instead, which I was fine with. But the attempts are few and far between. Our 13-yo has had anxiety and depression since COVID. She is incredibly smart, but has no drive or ambition and misses too much school and never does homework and lies about her homework, so it's an absolute nightmare dealing with that stress. I never get away from it. He typically works 60 hours a week, so most of that burden falls on me. The stress caused me to lose 20 pounds last May just trying to be sure she passed 7th grade. I have voiced and even wrote him a 13-page letter last spring on how I needed more from him. He even said he wouldn't want his daughters to have a husband like himself in their life, and he would have a real problem with it if our oldest was marrying someone that has done some of the things he has done to me. He is not physically abusive in any way, but has said some hurtful things out of spite over the years he knows was wrong. I feel like I need to show my girls a good example, and how can I do that staying married to him? He has continued to ignore most of my needs of quality time and a chance to check out once in a while. My heart is breaking into a million pieces right now. I just kicked him out, and I'm not sure I made the right decision. Update. My husband was kneed up coming home to help with hurricane prep. He was supposed to only help and stay that night, but then as things got more real, he stayed as I needed help preparing the house and yard for the storm. Then we talked about evacuating and booked a hotel some 3 hours away. But as the storm shifted south, we decided to stay put. He stayed during the storm and after. We ended up doing a lot of talking, but he would not cancel the trip. I told him he should be begging for my forgiveness, but it seemed like it was me that was fighting for this marriage. He had that trip 2 months ago where he went alone and had no responsibilities and no one to see to and had a lot of fun. He just wanted to feel that again. I told him if he didn't cancel the trip, the marriage was over. I told him he can't have his cake and do it too. I would never be able to get away doing something like this. Not would I try. I don't understand why this trip is so important. He has been love-bombing me and promised he would change and start treating me to vacations and date nights. There had been some issues in the past that I forgave, and he feels like I still can't forgive him for it. Then I don't understand why he would add to the problem. It sucks when you love someone so much and they hurt you like this. I don't want my marriage to be over. But he literally told me he would put me first after his trip. Why can't I be a stronger person and know that there is someone out there that will cherish me and love me the way I deserve? My daughter, 13, sent him a text explaining her feelings and basically told him he chose this trip over his family. He left Friday and he comes home today. All of his stuff is packed up and out of the house in his truck. Most he packed himself on Friday before the trip. He did miss his flight, trying to convince me I was making a bigger deal out of this than it needed to be. I texted his brothers, sister-in-law, and the friend. He's going to basically saying we are over and the circumstances leading to it. Also explained the history of how he spent so date nights ever and didn't do anything got our 15-year anniversary that was almost a month ago. He told me no one took his side, which I told him would be the case. No one in our life would treat their spouse like this. So I'm so torn as to whether I'm going to let him stay tonight or not. Heartache sucks,